Hey, Buzz Fam. You know, there's a lot of things that you need to do when it comes to ensuring that your adventure stays smooth and safe while you're on the road. And part of that is maintenance. That's right, maintenance. It's not all fun and games. What is one of the most important things that we need as humans besides air for survival? Clean and purified water. That's right. So we're going to start off this maintenance edition on filters. What kind of filters do you need and how often do you need to change them? Let's get started. Now, some of you may have a filter that is connected to your hose on the outside. Our situation is drastically different. We've got 3 filters, one of which handles sediment, the second one handles taste, and the third one deals with viruses. Okay, believe it or not, I am sitting in the wet bay with, come over here, with my lovely granddaughter, Mila, and we are talking about filters, right, Mila? Okay. One of the questions that I've always asked, how often do you have to change these filters? And the answer is every 3 months. It doesn't matter if you park your rig all summer, winter, whatever the case is, or if you're a full-time RVer like this, you should change those doggone filters every 3 months. And that is because bacteria can grow inside your filters. Well, think about it. It is a dark and wet environment. So that begs the question, or actually gives you the answer on why organics like that could grow. So change them doggone filters, Buzz Fam, every 3 months, no matter how long or how often you use them. So there you have it. There's your answer. Okay, moving on to slide maintenance. 3 topics that we need to discuss. 1, how often do you maintain your slides? 2, what do you look for? And 3, why do you do it? Well, number 1, let's talk about how often do you need to check on your slides or maintain them? And that is typically every 3 to 6 months. But the caveat to that is you want to do that before any long trips, before and after, by the way. And more often if you're on in a dusty environment. Say you're out in the Southwest, for example, in the desert. Yeah, that would be dusty. Or like us, we've been on a farm for the last couple months, and yeah, that's dirt roads and dirt driveways. They're dusty. So yes, you need to maintain your slides a little bit more. So let's get started. All right, step 1 on slide maintenance. Before you move your slides, you want to check on top of your slides to make sure that there is no debris. So you want to sweep off any dirt, leaves, branches, whatever's on top that may compromise the integrity of your slide while it's in operation. Okay, next on the docket, you want to make sure that your seals and wiper blades are maintained. Just clean them up. Use a safe RV cleaner. I would recommend just soap and water. Keep these clean. Okay, now moving underneath the slide, we want to make sure that the racks and the gears are clean and free of dirt. Start off by using a dry brush and rag. Get all the dirt and debris out of there. And then once you're completed with that, you go ahead and spray in a dry lube, not a wet lube. Wet lubes will attract dirt and grime over time, whereas a dry lube will not. And you spray that on your rack and gears. It's also a good time to check your frame back through here. And what you want to do is you want to look for any rust or cracks, because that's a serious problem. You're talking frame flex. Now, there's been a number of rigs on the road that have experienced that, so just keep that in mind. Doesn't hurt to keep that clean and dry lubed as well to inhibit any rust. All right, back underneath the rig. This is Blaster Dry Lube. That just sounds wonderful. Okay, here we go. Oh, boy, I'm not even close to the slide. It's way over there. Here we go. Let's try this again. That was kind of funny. You got to keep that in. That was prime. All right. Here we go. Right in there. Better get out of here. Who said shepherds were smart? Right, one more to go.
Probably could have moved these chairs for you, huh?
Oh, I'm pretty nimble. Oh, I know what I wanted to do is get this too.
Done?
All right, well, now that slide maintenance is done, it's time to take a break. Now we're gonna hand it over to Chrissy. She's got some things that she needs to do on the roof that could potentially save us thousands of dollars. So stay tuned for the rest of the episode to watch that. Oh, and by the way, as a new growing channel, please subscribe. It helps us grow and it keeps us alive. And I want to thank all of you that who are leaving comments. Being on the road can get quite lonely, so those comments really help us. So keep them coming. We appreciate you, Buzz Fam. Thank you very much.
Okay, I am up on the top of the roof because roof maintenance is key. And this is another way that you can save yourself thousands of dollars. Maintaining your roof, ensuring that everything is properly sealed, that you don't have a bunch of condensing units that are full of junk and debris, that everything is working properly, inspecting our solar panels, and even our we have a skylight too that's in our shower. So making sure that that is properly sealed and there's no cracks or any issues with it is really, really important. Now, I do not like heights. I'm gonna be the first to tell you how much I cannot stand climbing up here. Once I'm up here, I'm fine. I'm not looking forward to getting back down, but as a person who owns an RV, recognizing how much money we'll save by managing and maintaining this roof and knowing that Eric's just simply not able to get up here, I gotta do it. So these are the things that you gotta do when you own an RV. But I do have a question for you guys. Okay, I know that this wine guard situation was the internet that came with the Brinkley. I'd love to know who's actually using it and if it's any good. We have a T-Mobile internet box that we use primarily because it's the least expensive. Then we have the Starlink for when we don't have cell reception. Both relatively cost effective to use once you purchase the equipment. But I would love to see, I would prefer, I mean, I don't know, Brinkley, maybe you need to get on the Starlink situation and get rid of this wine garden because I feel like I've rarely see anybody actually using it. And when we looked up service plans online, it was expensive. So enlighten me. I'd love to hear about it. In the meantime, I'm going to continue inspecting this roof. Looks good. Okay, another thing we have to deal with today, this is really, really important. We have to dry lube these windows. So I don't know, can Eric, you get up all the way up in there so you can see how they work? Yeah. So what happened was the window here actually came off the track. So these little crank things that, and you can see I've got them halfway in now. I don't have them all the way in. Right. So right now, we can shut the window. Before we couldn't. This window was just flopping here. And there's no way you can travel with your window not secure. Right now, with them halfway in, we can at least close it and secure it. But I'm gonna attempt to get it in there. I'm gonna try to guide it with these tools. Now, they talk online where you can use some pressure on these cranks here. I'm a little nervous about it because obviously they can break. My fingers are smaller, so I'm doing it instead of Eric doing it. But two, I'm also a little weaker and he might muscle it more and there's a better chance it'll break. I'm not confident I'm gonna get these in right now. What I do know is I can keep working on it, but the window will shut and it will be secure. But we're gonna go around and dry lube all these windows to make sure that the cranks glide better because they do start sticking, and when they start sticking, they jump, and that's how they fall off the track. So let's see. Oh geez. I'm sure there's a ton of people online right now going, don't do it.
Yeah, I'm one of them. Oh,
I think I'm a little nervous about it. I feel like I have to take them all the way back out, and I don't want to do that right now.
Okay.
I'm scared.
Should we not do this?
Can I think about it?
Yeah, you can.
Can I think about this?
Yes.
Okay. In the meantime, I'm going to go spray some lube in the rest of them, and then I'm going to crank these windows open and close to make sure that everything's smooth, so we don't have this issue again. Okay. Another somewhat unpleasant item that we need to address is always going to be the toilet. So obviously you don't clean your toilet like you would at home. There's some special things that need to happen with the toilet. First and foremost, earlier today we noticed we were having trouble keeping water in the tank. And the reason why it's important to make sure you have water in there is because if you've got leaking going on where the water isn't holding, that means your seal here is leaking. And that's this black thing inside. So basically what you can do then is first you want to inspect it. So I've turned off the water and I'm holding the pedal down so I can pull it out. And it comes out pretty easy, but it does take a little bit of practice. And then I kind of use my hand underneath it because the last thing you want to do is, you know, drop it in there. So I've got a couple supplies ready to go because my hands are going to be grody. Of course, I'm team gloves. I have some sanitizing wipes. I have some vinegar solution cleaner because we've had some hard water lately. I've got a toilet brush, and I'm using some petroleum jelly. There is a special lubricant you can use on this rubber, whatever it is, it's a gasket or something, that goes in here, the seal. There is a special lubricant you can use for that, but I couldn't find it at the store, so a good backup is just regular old petroleum jelly. So basically what you want to do is to turn off your water in the back. There's only one connection. You take this out and clean it off nice and good. Once you get it all cleaned off, you can just kind of set it aside and then take a few minutes to clean out the toilet bowl itself. So again, I have the water off and I'm just going to hold the pedal down so I can reach in here and scrub up everything and get it all nice and clean. This is a great place to use your vinegar cleaners for these hard water drippages here. And then I'll use Clorox wipes to kind of get it all nice and sanitary. So I still don't have the water on. Water is still turned off while I'm cleaning this, and I can clean it with it closed or open. You have to be just super careful that you're not dropping anything into the toilet. When you're ready to put the rubber seal back in, as I mentioned, I'm using petroleum jelly. It works pretty good. It won't work forever. And this is something you'll want to do probably once a month, just because it's going to help keep things sanitary. It'll help with other smells, and you know, we all like sanitary things. So I don't have to open this up to pull it or put it back in like I did to pull it out. I can simply pop it in here. There's like a, I don't know what you call that thing, but it just goes in here. Oh wait, I think I have it upside down. But what's nice is you can kind of mess with it while it's still closed so you don't have that fear of dropping the thing in there. So the petroleum jelly will help with the seal, and it feels like it's on there straight. It kind of clicks into place, so you can definitely tell when it's in. And then I just kind of hold on to it while I'm using the pedal just to make sure that it's secure. I'm going to turn the water back on, let it run a minute. Oops, I don't have it on quite all the way.
Looks like it might be backwards.
It does look like it's backwards. There we go, I bet you're right. Yep. Okay. I do like to hold it just to make sure it's not going to go anywhere.
Yes.
And there it is. Keep an eye on it to make sure it holds the water. If it doesn't, you may need to get a new seal, which can't be that much money. They're just a little piece of rubber. And then obviously I'm going to take a minute to go, you know, wash my hands. Thanks for joining me and sharing this experience. So this fan that's located just above the stove, we use it a lot for ventilation when we're cooking because the fire alarms in here are really, really sensitive. So it's good to clean it as needed. And it usually ends up to be at least once a month, depending on how much you're cooking, but you can see all the gunk that comes off and lands in my face. I should have cleaned this when I was up on the roof. That would have been smart. All right, we have two kinds of fans. We've got the max airflow fans that are in the bathroom and the kitchen that vent outside, and then we have 3 of these GE profile condenser heat pump fans. So they have a screen and a filter here that has to get replaced. I'll take this out and wash it and kind of clean it up a little bit and then pop it back in here. But eventually we'll have to replace them about, I think every, I don't know, probably when it just needs to be done, maybe every 6 months. It just depends on how much you use them. Okay, another thing that goes along with RV maintenance is also cleaning, because that's proper maintenance to begin with. And when you use the right kind of products and you maintain a really great cleaning schedule, you can save yourself a lot of money on wear and tear and having to replace things too soon. Now, first and foremost, we have an RV, so we have tanks. We've got a black tank, or 2 black tanks, 2 gray tanks, and a fresh tank. So along with that comes some extra precautions in relation to chemicals. Now, one of the things I like to do to avoid some of the harsher chemicals is use Norwex towels for cleaning. These things are fantastic. I have an all-purpose cleaner. I've got these other kitchen cleaners. I've even got some scrubbies here and then a window polisher. So I love all of this. I've used Norwex for a long time. There's a lot of other brands out there that are just like it, but even prior to RV life, I love my Norwex. In addition to that, I try to use less harsh chemicals. I know it's really important to stay away from bleach in your tanks. It's a huge no-no when it comes to the seals, I guess, in your tanks. I'm not an expert. That's just what I've been told. So I try to use some chemicals that have a little bit more natural compounds in them and just less harsh chemicals. There's some really great 100% organic ones you can find out there. The more organic, the more natural, the better. Another thing when it comes to tanks is the cleaning solution. I know Eric's talked about this in the past. We do mix up the cleaning solution. It's a popular combination of a pine cleaner and a Calgon bath bead situation. It helps with the smells, and you'd be surprised what kind of smells can come out of not the bathroom tanks, but the kitchen tank. And we decided it had a lot to do with organic foods like the meats, the dairy products, even the fruits and vegetables. As they sit in there, they start to smell really bad. So this solution helps us a lot. Now, we are so careful about what we put down the drain. It's mostly soap and water and maybe a little like dirt. Nothing that can grow, nothing organic that can grow mold or mildew or ferment in any way. So we use a lot of towels to wipe out pans first, and then we spray them and rinse them in the sink. Sometimes I'll even pour the soapy water outside if I can, or if I think this, you know, if it's especially like if I'm cooking bacon and it's especially greasy, I don't want all of that in my tank if I can help it. So mixing the solution works for us. There's a lot of fantastic brands out there. But that's what we like. Another thing that I like to use is the Barkeeper's Friend. There isn't a ton of need for this, maybe in the stove that we use so little. But I do have a tea kettle here, and that calcified minerals from boiling your water gets in the bottom there. This works okay. And another one of my favorites are Swedish dishcloths. So these, if you're not familiar, are like a paper towel, but they're reusable. And what I love best about them is I put them in the kitchen, in the refrigerator on all the shelves for 2 reasons. One, it helps everything stay in place on travel days. And 2, if we do have something leak or spill, there's already a towel there to wipe it up. So I really love doing that. I bought a big pack of them, and I've got them on every shelf in there, and that works fantastic. And I'd also like to recommend a vinegar solution. Now we have this cleaner, which has been great. It's really, really great on hard water stains in this sink, in the bathroom sink, and phenomenally in the shower. So like I said, you don't know where you're at. Water that's coming into your RV could be really hard or rusty. It's got a lot of minerals in it because you're typically going to be hooked up to somebody's or some well water somewhere. So having a vinegar cleaner is also really great, and it's not going to harm your tank. So those are all my cleaning tips, and I'll let Eric move on to the next RV maintenance items.
Okay, last bit of maintenance. It's not a big deal, but we like to check the tires. I typically check the tires at every oil change, but you always want to, if you're going on a long trip, check them before you leave. It just takes a few minutes. But check the tread, make sure you don't have any flats. You just never know. So let's go through this right now. For example, on my truck, these tires are starting to wear a little unevenly on the front. I'm not sure why that is. I took the Ram in for regular maintenance, and I asked about that, and they basically said it was just because we're pulling a heavy rig. I don't buy that answer, but as long as there's still plenty of tread on there, I'm okay. But I do check all the treads on every tire throughout the rig plus the truck. So I want to check again. The back tires look good here. And you want to check all your tires. Make sure you got good tire pressure and check the tread. Make sure there's no uneven wear. That's the big thing. That is the big thing. Everything looks good though. I've checked the other side. All my tires look fantastic outside of the 2 front tires on the Ram. But we still have plenty of tread and we got plenty of miles to go before we need to replace any tires. So that's a good thing. But always check your tires. Safety, safety, safety. And that's all I have for you today out on the outside. All right. What a fun-filled day full of maintenance, but we got her done.
We did.
Yes.
Windows. Check.
Slide maintenance. Check.
Roof.
Yeah, you got on the roof.
I did.
Check. I checked for frame flex.
Ooh, yeah.
Check.
That was big. Fans. Check.
I think that's it.
Is that it?
But that was enough.
Kind of a lot. So
Yeah.
I think we're ready. Should we, go get some ice cream then?
Yeah, let's get some ice cream.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
All right.
We're gone. Well, these episodes sure do go by fast. And I just want to thank you personally, Buzz Fam, and I consider you family, brothers and sisters, for joining us every week. And we try to post every Saturday now at around 10 a.m. Thanks for all your comments and support. It's a brand new channel, and we work hard to make it better every day. So with that being said, next week, tune in, and we are going to be at a new mooch docking spot. What do I mean by mooch docking, by the way? That means you're typically living off someone else's land for free. But normally, you don't have any hookups like water, sewer, and electricity, so you need to come prepared. And that's going to be the case at our next stop. So you'll want to subscribe to be the first to be alerted to where we're going next. We're finally leaving Mille Lacs County, and we are heading north. And by the way, if you like this episode, I've got 2 more episodes on each side of the screen that you're able to buzz on. Thank you very much for tuning in, and remember, always keep your moral compass pointed north.